Imagine that you take a trip to another country, maybe even another continent, and as soon as you get there, you realize that you've lost all your money. Traditionally, to get money over to you, you'd have to use a bank wire or Western Union telegram to wire over money. And not only would this take a couple days, but they would also charge you a ton of money in fees. Bitcoin is a technology that allows you to anonymously send any amount of money instantly to anywhere in the world with virtually no fees. Now, Bitcoin is the world's first decentralized digital cryptographic currency. Now, obviously, that's a lot to take in for one sentence, so I'm going to go through it step by step. First, Bitcoin's a currency. Just like how you can have a dollar or a euro or even gold, you can have a Bitcoin, and it holds a store of value, just like any other currency. Now, to understand why Bitcoin has value, we have to look at gold. Gold has value simply because it's not unlimited, that it's not a renewable resource. Also, since it's not renewable, as gold miners mine it, it becomes harder and harder to get. So, when you go into a gold mine and you mine gold, you're rewarded for the amount of work you put in. Bitcoin works the same exact way. Users go in and use their computer and do work on their computer, and in turn, they're rewarded with Bitcoin. Now, this is done through a set of algorithms, and if you find a unique solution to this algorithm, you are then rewarded. Next, Bitcoin is completely digital. This just simply means that all the work, everything is stored on your computer and on a network. This brings me to my next point, that Bitcoin is decentralized and runs on a peer-to-peer network. To understand this, let's look at how a normal website runs. So with something like Facebook, one computer would hold all the files to that website and upload it to share with other users on the internet. Now, if this computer ever shuts off, that means that the entire website goes down. Also, it means that if anyone has access to this computer, they can do anything they want with this website. Bitcoin doesn't work like this. Bitcoin utilizes a peer-to-peer network, and this simply means that every single user in the world equally uploads part of the network. This is really important for a couple reasons. First of all, it means that for the Bitcoin network to go down, the entire internet in the entire world would have to go down. And let me tell you, if that happened, Bitcoin would be the least of our worries. Next, it's very important because it means that not one person or government can regulate or control Bitcoin, since the majority of users would have to agree to a change. Now, Bitcoin isn't just some small thing. It has a market capitalization of $8 billion. $40 million worth are traded each and every day. Almost every single major news outlet has run stories on Bitcoin, and I'm sure some of you have seen some of them. Notably, Forbes and Bloomberg, two of the most recognized economic media resources, have run multiple stories on Bitcoin. The Wall Street Journal now does daily stories on it. It's not just some small thing. Thousands of companies now are starting to accept Bitcoin as payment. Some of them include Overstock.com, Reddit.com, WordPress, and countless others. Our bill makes it so the United States will not regulate Bitcoin. This is really important for a couple reasons. First of all, Bitcoin is a global currency. The United States shouldn't have any more say in what happens to it than any other country. Second, right now there's a lot of businesses in the United States that do not integrate Bitcoin into their systems simply because they fear for future regulation. If there is future regulation or future laws and they can no longer accept Bitcoin into their systems, they will be, first of all, losing out on a ton of money that they put into integrating it into their systems. And also, they can be held accountable simply because they should have known better, and that's not okay. To clarify some points, this bill would be meaning that the United States wouldn't be getting involved at all. We would be taking a hands-off approach. We wouldn't approve of Bitcoin, but we also wouldn't disapprove of it. I yield my time, remainder of my time to questions.
Part of the problem with Bitcoin was recently that it got very, very valuable very quickly and then crashed in an equally short amount of time. Are you willing to back up on any sort of grounded paper currency, or is it going to be completely no backup?
Well, yes, that has happened in the past, and it will continue to happen. That's because Bitcoin isn't a fiat currency, meaning that it's not backed up by anything. Now we have to remember that Bitcoin's only been around for 5 years. It was created in 2009, and since then it has exploded. And anything, any currency, any commodity, any stock will be very volatile in its infancy. But as time goes on, volatility decreases, and we've already seen that. Where in 2011, we might have seen 50% ups and downs, but now we're starting to see less, maybe 5%, which is still big, but for 5 years it actually is pretty small.
Can you explain the difference between Bitcoin, a Litecoin, and a Dogecoin?
Okay, so that's a very good question. Litecoin and Dogecoin are what we call alternate coins. They use what Bitcoin put in place and modifies it. And they're very similar, but they're almost like copies, but they do have their uses. And in the bill it does mention both Litecoin and Dogecoin and says that this will also apply to those.
So you said that there's thousands and thousands of companies that are using Bitcoin, yet all you could name was Reddit, an online forum, Overstock, and I think maybe one other. Can you maybe give a few more, maybe some mainstream companies?
Well, Overstock.com is very mainstream. Virgin Galactic, the airline, has already said that they will be accepting Bitcoin. TigerDirect.com, Newegg.com, which are two very major computer companies. There's a lot of them internet companies, but in reality, using websites, you can purchase any item in the world with Bitcoin. Also, something I want to bring up, I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but something I want to bring up is that Bitcoin is a cryptographic currency, which basically means that it uses cryptology to say that only you will be able to say use your Bitcoins, which I wanted to mention earlier.
Thank you.